Hi all, right, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet Solo, Take 2, Part 50. Wow, 50 parts. I don't know, what's the average? It must be over an hour, Yeeks. Okay. What does it say on the game box? How long should this game actually take? Let's see. Does it tell you in the box? It usually does with these things. What have we got? Where are we? Average time to play, intro scenario 1 hour, full campaign 12 hours. Okay. Well, so that's us about, 50 hours in. That's not bad going. Okay. Right. Where are we at? Right, couple of things to talk about. What do you know? Yeah, first of all, Martin did come back with what I should do with the card situation, and he makes a good point, which I didn't think about at the time. The fact that me having an extra card and an extra impulse, especially at the moment, at this stage of the game when the Germans are getting more aggressive, means that the Germans get an extra impulse because I had an extra card in my hand. Now, I'm not trying to get out of this, if you like, but he basically says that it probably wasn't an advantage to me having an extra card. And when you think about it, the fact that the Germans had that extra impulse, what was their last impulse, for instance? It was the von Manstein card that drew another card, so he says I should just ignore it and get on with it. And so I'm going to do that. I did sort of think at first, I thought, well, I don't care what anybody says, I'm going to draw 7 and discard 1 randomly. But after I'm pointing out that could be a slight advantage to me because I'm getting rid of a card without giving the Germans the impulse. So I'm going to do what he's said and just ignore that. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 8 supplemental cards. We should have 9, and that's because of that blunder. So I'm going to give these a wee shuffle up again. These 8, and I'm going to draw 7 of them, which we know should leave 2, but it's only going to leave 1. And sorry, these go. So these are the 7 that go in the draw pile. These are the discarded supplementals, and there should only be 7 of them, but there's 8. So I'll take them, put them in there, and hopefully we'll not. I don't know. How did I manage to draw the card off of that? I think I should put something on top of it, just in case. There's a sugar cube because we don't need them anymore. We've never used it yet actually to activate any one unit. Anyway, if none of you's watched my previous Ardennes video, you'll not know what I'm going on about. Right, and then primary cards go in. There is 6 of them. They're all primary. So we should have 13 cards. Shuffle this up and I will draw our starting hand of 5 cards. Okay, that's that done. I've drawn my 5 cards, haven't looked at them yet. And we did sort out all the German cards. Everything else was sorted out, it was just that. So, yeah, I think it's right. It's the best way to deal with it. I was gutted about it, but as every mistake that happens, I'm annoyed with myself about. And that was a clumsy one, so. Okay, one other thing you mentioned, and I don't want to start sounding like I'm making excuses, but because of this card thing, hang on. So, sorry, pause for a bit there, try to let the noise calm down. I may have been a little bit hasty at the end of this because I was a bit annoyed at the card draw. Just wanted to get the beginning of the turn sorted out so I could upload it and try and get some kind of response to my card problem situation. So again, maybe I'm making excuses, but I was checking supply of these guys and Martin's pointed out that this guy is not out of supply. And it's true. I think I was lazy and I'm looking at down the road here and I realise that we can't get past, so I'll zoom out a little bit. because of this advance after combat, although I'm going to come back to that in a second in a minute. Well, in one of them shortly. But I mean, just maybe laziness tracing down this road. But remember, I can still trace 7 hexes. Well, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down to here, I'm then on the road. You know, we've veered away from this road, but I'm still tracing my 7 hexes onto this road, and the supply's traceable. So, yeah, thanks for that one, Martin. Well spotted. Like I say, maybe a bit of laziness, but because I mean, we tried with this guy as well, you know, and we thought, all right, we kind of get down this road, and we tried to trace down here, and we're 1 hex short with this guy. That's still the case, but I mean, I clearly didn't even look at that. I thought, right, can I get down the road? But count the hexes out, well, you know, and you'll get there. So he is not out of supply, so that's good. Now, the last thing, and I sent Martin a message asking him his thoughts on this, because I was at work at the time. Unfortunately, he's not either got the message yet or been able to look and respond. He didn't make any comment on part 48. Was it 48? Yeah, he's not made any comments on how part 48 went, so I'm wondering if he's maybe not seen it, or maybe just things did go right. But I've got a feeling there is an issue here, and it's regarding not the attack but the advance after combat of these 2 units. Now, kind of frightened to move things back a bit, right? So this unit 11 had advanced into here. The other one didn't advance at all. Our unit had been here, retreated twice, so this was a path of retreat, and I think that's all I considered when advancing. Well, you've got to remember that a 2 hex advance, right, let's find out about 2 hex advance. I'll just put this guy in here just before I forget, but just remember that they were there. We can zoom in a little bit, and well, what I can do is, that was the battle hex, and that was where the unit retreated to, and then obviously retreated to there as well. Well, let's just make it like that, right? Okay, so that is the path of retreat, because there was a unit left. Now, a path of retreat is not left if the unit is eliminated, but it wasn't eliminated in this case. It retreated 2 hex, and that's a path of retreat. So let's just look at, this is on page 35, 13.71, and this is talking about a 2 hex advance, okay? And that's what we were trying to do here. So if the defending units retreat 2 hexes or are eliminated, attacking mechanised units may advance 2 hexes, right? So the first hex entered in the advance must be the attacked hex, okay? So we'll make that one a dark blue. Okay, so that's where the battle occurred, right? And that's where the unit retreated to, there and there. So that's where the battle occurred. So we if we are going to advance after combat, we need to go into that hex first. Now, what was it I done? I did get an advance with the first guy. I might need to look back in the footage here. Well, if we're going to change things. So yeah. So, and when you're advancing the German units, you look at that table. Look, okay, hang on. Let me carry on reading what I'm doing about the 2 hex advance. So the second hex entered in advance may be any hex adjacent to the attacked hex, right? So, and then it's full stop there. So, right, I don't need to start putting more cubes. I'm getting mad with my cubes, I've noticed they're going everywhere. Right, so this is where this unit advances first, and that's the hex where the battle occurred, right? Now, if he wants to carry out a second advance, now, he can advance into any one of these hexes. Right, and I'm even going to point at this hex, right? And I'm not quite as sure about it, but I recall myself, and I'm not seeing anything in the rules. I'm trying to find it, because when you retreat, you've got to move 2 hexes away from the back. I mean, this unit has to move 2 hexes away. He couldn't have retreated here, right, and then retreated here. You know, bear in mind, these 2 units are there. He couldn't go retreat, because then he's only 1 hex away from where the combat happened. So that's why he's got to move 2 hexes away. With advance after combat, there's nothing to say that you can't advance, and I'm sure I've done it, and no, maybe not quite. That I feel like there was an occasion where I advanced in and advanced back out again. Could it be to take control of a town or something? And again, this wouldn't work in this game because you've got to stop. But maybe enemy action are down. But I've certainly made moves like advance, something like that, because it sometimes is what you want to do, right? So there's nothing to say that you've got to advance, and get 2 hexes away from where you are. I don't believe so. Please tell me if I get it wrong, then by all means let me know. But I don't believe that's the case. So carrying on with the 2 hex advance. The second hex entered in the advance may be any hex adjacent to the attacked hex, right? I've just said that, but haven't I? So here's the attacked hex, so it can be any one of the 6 hexes round about it. Okay? However, when deviating from the path of retreat, the advancing unit can't move directly from one enemy controlled hex to another. So what that means is, this is the path of retreat. So the path of retreat is in here. So let's just say I had Soviet units all around here, right? I could still move into here because that's path of retreat. But let's just say I had a Soviet unit here. I could not advance into here because that's deviating from the path of retreat, and it would be going from zone of control to zone of control. So I can't do that. However, as you can see, there's nothing round about this. There's nothing that could stop me saying, right, I'm going to advance the second hex into there, I'm going to advance the second hex there, or there, right? So there's nothing to stop me from doing that. It carries on. When more than one unit is advancing 2 hexes, they may advance into different hexes. So once I've dealt with this guy, there's nothing to say I couldn't, like, then advance him into a different place. Soviet unit can't advance the second hex if adjacent to a garrisoned hex, but that's not what we're doing. Right, sorry about that. I was getting a wee doggy was wanting up beside me. Right, so where was it? Yeah, and the last bit there is defending units that are eliminated leave no path of retreat. In this situation, advancing to the second hex always deviates from the path of retreat, like I mentioned earlier. So, but when we done this advance after combat, yes, this unit advanced into here. Now, it says for Germans advancing after combat, you do them in ascending order, which we've done. Victorious attacking German units advance 1 unit at a time in ascending numerical order. For each unit eligible to advance, check to determine if its advance into the hex would be in the forward direction, in the direction adjacent to the forward direction, or some other direction. Consult the following table, cross-referencing the route of advance with the number of German units that have already advanced into the hex, if any. Roll the die. If the die result falls in the indicated range, the unit advances. And then the wee table is, I wonder if most of these are going to be, have the game be able to look at this, but we'll just, can I get that in there? Can't? There we go. There's a wee table, so just in case you're not sure, there's route of advance, and it tells you the different options, and then number of advancing German units already in the hex. Can I get zoomed out a bit more? No, I can't. So that's if there's no units in the hex and you've got one of these conditions, it will automatically advance. if you've got one unit already in the hex and you've got one of these conditions, on a roll to 6 it'll advance. If you've got 2 units already in the hex, then it won't advance. And then if you've not got one of these conditions, then that one is in direction adjacent to forward direction, a roll to 1 to 7 if you've no units in the hex, a roll to 1 to 3 if you've got 1 unit in the hex, and then no if 2 units in the hex. And then if it's another route, doesn't matter if there's any units there or not. If it's not one of these routes, it won't advance at all. So I think our initial one there was adjacent to forward direction, wasn't it? And we rolled, I want to say it was a 4 or something like that, and then that advanced the unit. So, but I'll come back to that in a sec. So, right, as we asked it, advance that given hex enable supply. Right, and then if a German unit advancing a second hex has a, and this is where I think I made a mistake, because like my message to Martin was, I'm pretty sure I just considered the path of retreat. So I advanced this unit into here, and then I just got, the blinkers went up, and all I was looking at was advancing into this hex here. But that's not necessarily the case. And if you look, there's a forward arrow in this direction, and I believe that, because what it then says is if a German unit advancing a second hex has a choice of hexes to enter, and remember, like I've said, these choice of hexes, in my opinion, are all 6 hexes round about it. That's what it says. It says that you can the second hex entered in advance may be any hex adjacent to the attacked hex. So, like I say, it could potentially be back into the hex it just came from. I don't see anything that's telling me I can't do that. But again, I may be missing that. I think it's just a daft thing. Why would you do it? I mean, what would it give you, benefit you, So, but anyway, sorry, getting back to that bit. If a German unit advancing a second hex has a choice of hexes to enter, check for advance into the hex with the highest chance of advance only. So when I moved into here with the first one, I blinkered myself into looking at this hex. Well, the route of advance, the first of the following that applies, is it a VP hex? No. Is it a hex that enables supply? No. Is it a hex that causes surround? No. No. Is it a hex in the forward direction? And I said no, because it's not. Forward direction's down there. So I then look at the next route advance. Is it in a direction adjacent to the forward direction? Well, no, it's not, because that would be adjacent and that would be adjacent, but that's not. And then so I looked at the next part, other route, and it's a no. You don't roll a dice, so he just doesn't go. So he didn't go. But he shouldn't have been checking this hex, because this hex he's got no chance of getting into, right? Now let's just move him out of the hex to see. This direction is going in the forward direction. That would be an automatic advance into that hex. So in actual fact, I think that's where this unit will go. Now, you might be saying, you just want to get yourself out of this trouble with this road and supply. And well, it crossed my mind that if this did happen that way, that I might. But remember, we've got to consider how this guy's going to move as well. I won't change. Well, if I've got to re-roll a dice, I will, but I won't change any dice rolls. Like, I think this one it wasn't an auto advance, but then no, I didn't roll a dice, did I? I think I rolled the dice for this guy getting it here, but this hex will be empty then, so I can't remember what I rolled. So there is a chance that unit will come in here as well. If I need to re-roll a dice and adjust it, I will. So, so you can see what I'm saying there, and I mean that is the best chance of success for a second hex advance. Now, you could also consider that direction or that direction, which would be adjacent to the forward arrow, but I'd need to roll a 1 or a 7. So, what's the best chance? Roll on a 1 to 7 or an automatic advance. So, I think that unit should have advanced into there in its second hex. Now, I can't remember, this is the thing, I can't remember what the next guy done, so let's just have a look back on the footage of that. Okay, it was just a way to check in there what happens next, and great time, and Martin's just came back saying to me, yes, I'm right, that this unit would indeed have advanced the second hex automatically into that hex because it's an auto advance. And what I roll is a 6 into here. Now, while that unit was there, the check was on a 1 to 3 because a unit was in there. It was adjacent to forward direction. And because there was a unit in there, it was a 1 to 3 and I rolled a 6. However, that would have been there, and this would have been a check on a 1 to 7, and he rolled a 6. So he should have advanced into there from his first advance. Now, we still need to check he could advance the second hex too. So, what's his best chance of advance? Well, that's another route, and that's another route, and that's another route. So, not either three of them. However, this one's adjacent to the forward arrow, this one's adjacent to the forward arrow, and this one is the forward arrow. So, indirect, no, it's forward arrow, right? And there's a unit already in there. First of the following that applies. Yeah, and that's the best it's the best chance he's got to advance the second hex is on a roll, and it's a 1 to 6 to enter here. So I'm kind of hoping he gets this, because if he gets this roll, and okay, it might look a bit odd, but you've got to go, you know, there's a reason there's an AI for this, and it's, I think, the best AI that within any war game that I've played. I mean, I'm not played loads right enough, but this is the best for me. It's the most detailed and accurate I've come across anyway. So it's, you know, some of these things do look a little strange, and it's been said before that there are sometimes when certain moves don't look like the best move. Would you do this yourself? I've said it already. There's 2 or 3 that have come up in this game that I think could be rules issues rather than, you know, strange movements issues. You know, I think I was talking about the Rouse unit that came away down here, remember, and with the advance, and I thought that was a bit odd. I don't find that to be a problem. Whereas we might find an answer, and like I say, Tom Castle did give a good reason to why it could be about this, not adjacent to another German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit thing. I kind of think there could be a rules issue in there, but maybe not as well. But this isn't a rules issue. If this unit advances into here and then advances into there, and also consider it, I mean, he's not going to consider it he's trying to shut off supply to us. What that would happen if he does advance into here, then this unit, then not just this unit is in supply, but this unit's going to be in supply too, because he can trace right down the road. These units aren't exerting zone of control into here, and we're good. However, I still need to roll a dice for this, but I should be checking this. That's a 1 hex. He's advanced that 1 hex, and now his best possible chance, if a German unit advances the second hex, has a choice of hexes to enter, check for advance into the hex with the highest chance of advance only. So the highest chance of advance for this guy is following the forward direction with a unit already in there. No, stop, Grant. That's wrong. I'm glad I just stopped myself there, because that is a 1 to 6 roll. Well, here we go. This direction is adjacent to the forward arrow, and there's no unit advanced into this hex, and it's a 1 to 7 roll. However, we've also got this one, and it just feels wrong, doesn't it? But both of them, going by the rules, are a 1 to 7 roll, whereas this is a 1 to 6 roll. So in actual fact, he's going to roll between one of the two. Now, the restrictions don't tell you nothing either. A German unit in a hex in German supply will not advance into hex not in German supply. Well, none of the hexes are going to stop that. German unit will advance at Soviet surrounded hex only if it's a hex only if the hex is a VP hex, or if doing so causes the Soviet unit to become surrounded, or if 5 plus the hex is not in Soviet support. Again, that's not really applying. The German will not advance if doing so would cause one or more Soviet units to become proximate to an empty garrison German town or city. Does not apply if the situation exists at the start of the advance. That's not going to apply either. No. And then the last one's about going into a marsh hex. German mechanised unit will not advance into marsh hex. So that's it. But there, you know what? There's nothing that I can see in the rules that says that this unit cannot go 1 hex advance, 2 hex advance. I'm trying to find it here, but I'm trying to find something that will say that no. I mean, it makes very little sense, although I'm still convinced I'd done it in the previous game. But I think it was to like grab a town or something. I think you could do that in this game. You know what? Well, if a choice remains, right? This would be the lower hex number, wouldn't it? Yeah. But Martin, it seems to be that it's generally making the posts, so let me know if my 1 hex advance into there, could it still be that a 2 hex advance could go back into there? You know, back into the hex it's come from. I get the feeling that there's nothing to say you can't do that. However, we've got the choice of these two. Both are a roll of 1 to 7, right? And we're going to say that we're going to come down to tiebreakers, and this is the lowest hex number. That's what tiebreakers are, when it comes down to it. Action tiebreakers, a hex that enables an German unit to trade supply, the lowest number hex. So I'm going to go with that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind sort of confirmation that, I mean, it feels silly going like that. But I mean, say something else was here, would he have done that? Yeah. Right, well I've got to roll a 1 to 7 or he's staying there. I'm kind of hoping he does roll a 1 to 7 because... Oh no, does that? That still doesn't block off the road. Yeah. Damn it. We're not getting away with this anyway, are we? Unless he did advance back there. Because I was thinking he was going to advance into here, but like I say, this is a 1 to 6 roll, this is a 1 to 7 roll. So I'm going to go for this one. Let me know what you think about this, please. I know it sounds stupid, but... Right. Oh, rolled a 7, just. So he is going to advance, so his second hex advance is going to be into that hex, which was adjacent to the forward arrow. And he's not breaking any rules. The path of retreat is not a problem. However, that is still keeping that supply shut off, isn't it? Because we can trace down this road and we cannot trace to this hex. So it's exactly the same. The unit was there before. It's there now. If it had been over there, yeah, we would have been fine, but that's where it's ended up. Okay, well that's good. 28 minutes gone, Grant. Well done. Nothing played. Okay, I think that's everything tidied up now, so let's see if we can try and get something going then. So, like I say, we're almost half an hour in, so and I like to try and get an impulse of each, but right, well, we've not looked at our hand yet. It's still our impulse first. Now, I've got to remember, I think next turn, from turn 7, I want to say, the Germans start going first, don't they? Yeah. Conduct alternating impulses from turns 1 to 6, the Soviets first. From 7 onwards, it's the Germans first. So hopefully we don't miss that one. Oh yeah, that was another thing I made a wee comment on, which I think this is one that's going to be easy to miss. I made a comment in the header of the video. Sorry, it's a bit glare there, but that's better. What it was I was talking about these units being proximate to something up here. And then I was about to say, oh yeah, they could have been proximate. Sorry, not proximate. I was looking at moving them to a certain hex, and I think I could have strategically moved them, I think. But then when I looked at it again, I realised I was outside the support line, and you can't do strategic movement if you're starting outside the support line. Although I was one that would catch me out, I'm starting to wonder if I've made a mess of talking about that, because was I trying to move proximate? I don't think so. I think it was just a move. I said I can't move to there. And then looking back on it, I thought, yeah, you could if you used strategic movement, Grant. However, you know what? Maybe I couldn't have done strategic movement either, because it's tricky to do it, isn't it? You can't go any further east and south and whatever. Yeah, I might review that comment either. I suppose my point was, though, that I think it could be easily caught out. You could be easily caught out by not remembering if you're outside the support line, you can't start strategic movement, you know. I get the impression, I feel like the way it's written, you can finish outside the support line, but you need to start from inside it when you start the move. Anyway, okay. Right, let's look at our hand and see what we've got. And we're hoping for some... Right, oh, that guy went out of supply. Give me a sec. Yeah, and I was talking about the Rouse unit, because he ended up out of supply, yeah. And I was thinking, does that mean we're safe here? But, well, to be honest... Well, it would have done if he was at... mech units can only move 2 hexes when they're out of supply, but there's no movement restriction that I can see to infantry units, so he can still activate and go in here. Now, the fact he's out of supply might mean he's looking at the behind Soviet lines action steps, so I'm not sure. Well, you know what, I'll look at what my hand is first. I mean, admittedly, if I know he can't move into there, I'm not going to use like the Stavka card or the Bornish front card just to move that unit into there. Well, without checking first on this to see what that can do. Okay, so here's my hand. Oh, well, there you go. That's a good start then. So 69, and it's a full army. Southwest Front, 6th Army, 3rd Tank Army. Well, that's a nice hand. Wow, 40th Army. That's 4 primary cards there. And a Southwest Front card. That's a pretty good starting hand, I think. Right, well, I mean, yeah, I think we want to activate the 69th, don't we? Yeah, I'm just looking around saying, I don't know what I want to do. There's loads of there's loads of stuff, isn't there? I mean, I don't know. I've not really... I guess I just put the camera on, started recording, and I mean, I know what happened in the last turn. Throughout the last turn, what all came and went, but I've maybe not thought of the things that I really need to do. I mean, I know this one does feel like it's kind of important, and why not just activate 69th again? We've got the army card to activate them all. Seems to make sense. How many have we got? Any cards there that do any repairs? No, we've not at all. No supplemental cards. Mind you, we did get a few in the previous turn, didn't we? So we've got this guy here, this guy in Kharkov. Maybe put that 3rd tank in there. Yeah, we probably don't want to move that guy out of Kharkov, so probably not going to be doing an awful lot. I mean, moving this guy into here, and probably moving this guy into here, I think, because these 2 2nd SS units are on the prowl a bit. So maybe moving the 1 strength unit into Kharkov as well. I mean, we want to bolster it as much as we can, I suppose. However, in saying that, this 3-step unit could fit in there just now from 40th Army. And we do have a card to activate them, so you've got to remember your reserves. Now we're into turn 6 now, though. You're looking at them saying, well, if I wait to the beginning of the turn 7, they'll come in for free. Which is, tempting, but I don't know. Obviously it's done that way to make you think, oh, do you want to do it or do you not? Yeah, I think if I'd drawn the Stavka card, if I'd had that in my hand last turn, mind you, we ended up with an extra card we shouldn't have had, so yeah, let's not go back into that. Okay, so yeah, there wouldn't be much doing with the, but maybe just do that, because I don't want to lose this, and I'm not sure what that guy's going to do. I think he might be behind the lines and might want to look at what they do, but you know what? I get the feeling that he could maybe still move into this a VP town. In fact, shall we? Is it in the action step? But 10.2 behind Soviet lines. Oh, here it is. There's a wee bit here. Active German unit in a non-VP hex from which supply can't be traced, unable to move, performs first action that applies. Well, what's the first action? Move to enter garrison VP hex. Well, there you go. So he is going to move into there. Well, he's going to move. Aye, he is. So that kind of just tells me now I've got to do this, haven't I? Yeah, I just also noticed this is one that had air supply on it, and if you remember, we've got this guy's out of supply now. We could be in a bit of trouble. I was also just browsing about any cards that might have the forward support. That's the only one we've got in our hand for forward support marker, so that's another thing. But yeah, I mean, because I moved this guy down, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate 69th. So, and then no messing about. This guy's going to go into the town and make that secure. Well, yeah. Excuse me. And then what else did we think? Well, pretty sure. Well, man, then again, he can reach Kharkov as well. Can that guy 1, 2, 3, 4? But that little guy, he needs to be with somebody, doesn't he? Yeah, I mean, what would we have? We'd have 6 strength in Kharkov if I put that little guy in. Is that enough? I think it is at the moment. Because, mate, it's only these 2 second SS units that I've kind of broke through there. And quite a nice result we got in the fact that, I mean, it wasn't the ideal result, but we did reduce them both, and they were 5 strength. They were 5 strength to both of them with 3 steps, and look at them now, they're on the much better from our point of view, anyway. Okay, so yeah, I think I do move this guy into this town because I don't feel I know there's not a gap here, but I think while we're activating these units, I do need to protect a little bit. And then what about the unit in Belgorod then? Oh, look, I could switch them around. Well, maybe not though, because I could strategically. Well, I don't need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move this 1 strength unit back to Belgorod and strategically move this one into Kharkov. Is a slight temptation to do that, because now what I need 26 points by the end of this turn, and I could claim a victory. Right. I know it's highly unlikely, but I should think about it. So, just stepping back a little there. I know I'm sort of halfway through moving these 69 units, but I think the reason I was like it stopped me there was I know there's a victory point up here. And, you know, our 40th Army, I think they're all kind of proximate to this guy. So, I mean, I've got the card in hand. I could have a go at them, and hopefully the third tank can just hold on the now. Another thing is that is just outside the support zone as well. Ugh. Don't make it easy for you. Don't make it easy for you. But, right, where would they get the 3 victory points? Well, that I'm thinking is 1, right? So, where would you get your other 2 though, Grant? And that's not as easy to think. And, I mean, I guess it's because it's 2 victory points, but I mean, come on, Grant. I mean, really? It's not going to happen, is it? I mean, although some of these reduced, maybe not the strongest force here, maybe we lost 2 Popov units, armoured units. Do we really think we're going to not only break through and get through to this, but also be able to leave a unit in it that's in supply? Nah. I don't think so. But I don't know, if I don't, I can't see where any area would get them. I mean, there's 1 here and 1 here, but I mean, that's right up through the middle. Yeah, I'm not really sure that I can see any way of me trying to get 3 more victory points. I think the better plan is to just try and hold on to what I've got and grind my way through the turns till we get to a point where we have enough still to have the victory. I mean, I think for our first attempt at the game, maybe you can see you got to move quicker, I suppose. And I mean, to try and get the initial victory on turn 4, you know, you need to take one of the cities. You need to move pretty quick. You still need 26 points as well, so it's not easy. No, I seriously don't think I can see any way of getting that. I mean, no. So does that mean that there's no real point in me trying to grab this one? Well, maybe not. That's not the case, because I would like to have this area clear. You know, get that guy out of the way, and so I think the 40th Army might still do that. So what does that mean to what we were thinking of then? I can't remember. Yeah, my worry was maybe moving this 1 strength unit across here into the city with this, but I get the feeling well, it might not be my next move though. If I'm wanting to put the forward support down, I might need an impulse in between. Yeah, I think you're overthinking this, Grant. But I want to protect Kharkov, so, and I don't really want to have this. Yeah, you know what? I'm doing this. I mean, will this guy 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, well, he might. You know that. He might do something coming out of there if I've got 1 strength in this 2 victory point city. You know, would he move out of there? He might. I think I would consider it if I was in charge. Course, I suppose the other thing is, do we need this 2 strength 40th Army unit? I could back him up again, but why don't you just play it a bit safer and just move this guy into Kharkov? I think so. Then that means we've got 6 strength in Kharkov. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. That's okay. I think that's okay against this. If we start seeing this force becoming, start smashing through some of this third tank, well, like I said, that was the other thing I was thinking about, is like backing out of that, because it's more than likely there's going to be an attack on that. No, maybe not. Maybe not. We've got a strong presence, haven't we? 6, 11 strength. I mean, we're kind of holding that more than we're trying to hold Kharkov, but yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. And just leave this guy here, I think, just now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I need to maybe sit and study some things before I press record a bit, I think. See what my thoughts are, but just looking about there just now, I don't think I can see a way of trying to get 3 victory points before the end of the turn. I think I need to wait. What is turn 7's the same. What is turn 8? Turn 8 you need greater than 24. I'm sitting at 23. Turn 9 you need greater than 23. And of course, by that time we may have lost 1 or 2. So yeah, it's balanced that way for a reason, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, and we'll see. So that's our first impulse, right? I'll draw my card now. I'm kind of looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. I just feel like I should be putting that forward support out again. But the only card I've got is that 3rd tank army. But you know what? It might be because there is a chance that there'll be an attack on this guy. I mean, he's in a bit of a bad state. There might well be attack on this guy. Okay, they might not go for the stack here, but yeah. Okay, well, let's see what I draw, and I'm drawing it for the right pile this time. I'm not touching the sugar cube, alright? So what do we get? Mobile group pop-off, units card. Well, that's nothing terribly special, is it? No. Okay, well, that's our hand. Right, I'll tidy up the units and we'll hopefully get a German impulse. And I'm going to have to take a break, so yeah, I'll maybe not get as much done tonight as I thought, but that's because I start going into other things and spending too much time on, well, I want to make sure we're understanding everything. Right, I'm just putting this stuff back together. I don't know what, I'll put these down the bottom. So, alright, give me a sec. Right, okay, let's get the first German impulse then. See what we get. Oh, well, there you go. How about that for timing? Although they're looking to Titan Command. Yeeks, whatever that might be. Sorry, I want to zoom into the card, but yeah, Kora's card. So if they were to have got down to activate, there's no reserves, but we're going to be looking at this event, so I'm guessing this might happen. I don't know what it is, but if they were to activate, then that out of supply unit would have moved into there and took that victory point, I think. So yeah, better to have done it when we did. Okay, so what is the turn 5? Right, we're not on turn 1 to 3, so we ignore the first event, but we are on turn 6, which triggers the second event, or it triggers us having a look at it anyway, to see what it does. Titan Command. Okay, it's not an awful lot of text. Okay. Remove this card E32 from play, then conduct another German impulse. remove it from play. That tends to tell me it's not going in the discard pile. Although I'm not 100% sure on that. Hang on. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just, rather than look into that just now, because I'd like to, I've not really got the time, and I'd like to have an impulse if I could. So I'm gonna, remove from play. Yeah, it tends to feel to me that it's not going in the discard pile. So I've just set it aside. I've just put the card the other side of the command deck there. It's removed from play. Yeah, it would surely say discard this card and conduct another German impulse, wouldn't it? So I'm pretty sure it is removed, but I'll maybe try and look more into that, just to try and get things moving along a bit. So yeah, what did I say? Remove this card from play, then conduct another German impulse. Right, so we're going to draw another card. That's right, it was turn 6. Yeah, okay. Okay, right, that's more interesting maybe. 48th then, have we got reserves? We do not. So deploy all core reserves to eligible, there's none. So it's going to activate. Right, okay. Okay, good. Okay, so going to activate 48th core, but I could really do with copying this across. We're getting up close to, well, past the 51 minutes. It's showing red, so just a quick glance, we've got these 2 units there, then 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. That's it. We have managed to, there's still 3 in the eliminated units box, so at least I'm activating, it's not bringing them back anyway. Okay, I'm going to copy this across and hopefully just come right back, but just in case I don't, we'll take a wee cut here. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, cheers. Hi all, right, back to finish off the second half of this part 50, isn't it? Take 2 part 50, yeah. So I copied that bit I had across, so let's see if we can put all this together as one then. Although there could be a bit of stuff to do here, so we're activating 48 core. So yeah, let's do it. So nothing's changed. We're on turn 6, so nothing's changed. It's still within turn between action steps 5 to 7. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what you're trying to say, Grant. And then, oh yeah, one last thing I'd meant to say when I was talking about this advance, and Martin had said he had skimmed over it, but he kind of thought advance after combat was a pretty straightforward kind of process, and it should be. I think we've not had a lot of it in the game up to now, and we're going to start getting more of that, so hopefully again it's one of these things that I'll maybe just sit in my head a bit better. Yeah, it's funny how these things just sometimes just you go past you and like totally just didn't think about it. Anyway, we've got it sorted now. I believe, yeah, I think that's right, although still curious about the whole advance, but can't seem to find anything that could stop that. Sounds a bit stupid, I know, but I don't know, these things can sometimes be there. And okay, so 5 action steps 5 to 7, right? Nothing behind Soviet lines, right? Move to VP Hex. No, and they'd move to a German VP, or shall we say a non-Soviet VP Hex, if you want to try and keep it that way. I mean, it's only these map edge ones, you know, I mean, I want to say German here myself, and that's kind of why I wish it was maybe considered something else. But anyway, we'll only move to this if a Soviet unit is proximate to it, you know, and that's not the case, right? So we move on. Hang on. Yeah, you've also got if starting alone in a VP hex and Soviet unit proximate. Oh, wait a minute. I've just had a weird thought about what is the one that wasn't properly. That was, John came back and said it had been compressed just too much. I'm starting to think because I'm just looking at the player aid, and that's where the compression is, and it's after the move, isn't it? I have to see try to restore these things. Yeah, it is that step, isn't it? Move to a VPX regardless of ownership. Move to a German, right? That's going to be moved to a non-Soviet VPX only if empty or garrisoned, and only if once the unit completes the move, a Soviet unit will be proximate to that unit. So I've got to keep. I've totally forgot about that, and yet that's the one of the things you kind of brought to light a bit, Grant. So, yeah. So I don't think it's not really coming into play just now. But then again, I need to remember that it's that and not just the other bit. Because that could, if I was moving a unit to here and then say there was a Soviet unit just now, one hex short of being proximate to that, then if I was to move a unit to it, then it would become proximate. So I do need to keep that in mind. Right. It's not applying here. Right, okay, we'll move on. Right, go ahead and draw some cards. Right, so draw action cards. Right, well now we've got all the cards on the deck, and I think there's only one that's going to leave the deck now from the next turn, so they're all getting a bit nasty, these cards, getting a bit aggressive now. Right, so we draw 2 cards and we get deploy flank protection. This is the one that's going to leave after this turn and advance. So deploy flank protection first. Yeah, this is not really the one that, again, that's that aggressive, is it? Well, it's not. Well, okay, this is a place of garrison one. Mind you, place one garrison, needs to meet all the criteria. Would cause a German unit in dangerous round to no longer be in dangerous round, and on turns 5 and 6, unit must be in hex and Soviet support. Well, here's the thing from the start. None of these units are in Soviet support. We've not got that support marker up. This is our line of support to this side of it. So if any of the units are, and I mean this could well be in dangerous round, then the unit, it doesn't matter, it doesn't care, because it's not in the support. So place one garrison marker in the lowest numbered empty position hex meeting all these criteria. Well, hang on though, Grant, here. This is a card that's not looking at the core at all, is it? So it might actually still do something. Yeah, okay. Let me have a look around. Yeah, and I'll come back again. I'm making a right hash of things tonight, I feel. It is relevant to the core because it's within 3 hexes of an active unit, right? As you all know. Oops. Clicked on stuff there that I shouldn't be. Right, so you are looking for something that's within 3 hexes of an active unit that is not adjacent to a Soviet unit. This is where we're trying to place a garrison, by the way. An empty position hex within 3 hexes of an active unit, not adjacent to a Soviet unit, in German reserve supply. And then, but the big bit is, would cause a German unit in dangerous round to no longer be in dangerous round, but it needs to be in a hex in support. So it needs to be down in here somewhere. It's possible. No. I mean, are these in dangerous round? Is this in dangerous round? I think this guy is. And he's in support. Well, he is, yeah, we know he is. I'm not so sure I can put a garrison in there to help him. It can't go adjacent to Soviet unit. I mean, there's two here, but that's not going to prevent him from being a dangerous round. Neither there's that, and it's got to be within 3 of a 48 core unit. So, yeah. Yeah, if there'd been, if there'd been a position hex in here somewhere, then yeah, well, not adjacent to the unit, but no, I don't think it would have mattered, would it? Because he can go into there, and that guy's surrounded. What about this guy then? Hold on, Grant. Hold on. What about possible garrison there? Because this guy's surrounding the ball, is he? Well, maybe not, actually. This guy's got 6 movement, but it's a trek through here, isn't it? What about coming down? Surely we can get something into here. What about this infantry, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, maybe not then. Yeah, I'm trying to get surround on here then. I feel like it must be doable, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Maybe not. 1, 2. Oh, it's broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Meh. Right, well, can't we get further round then, Grant? Can't you get in here maybe? This guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, right, okay. So you can go there, and remember he can't cross over that boundary, but that's the right side of it. And yeah, what's that achieving, Grant? I'm not sure. So, and then this guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go out and in. And then, well, just to make sure we can get that. But I'm worried because it's this guy that's moved to here. We need to have something in here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would work. So we can put a unit in there. Right, does all that surround that guy? Yes, it does. I don't know if I made a meal of that or not, but it did seem like it needed a wee bit more looking at, a wee bit more work to get there. So he's in dangerous round, and that might mean that a garrison could possibly be placed on 68. Or, actually, well, no, not 74. I think it needs to be here. Because 74 wouldn't stop it, would it? I go out and in. And then that guy still goes up there. Yeah, we get the exact same situation. But if I put that there, this guy can't then get up to here. So what about that then? So place 1 garrison mark in the lowest number empty position hex, meeting all these criteria within 3 hexes of an active unit. It is within 3 of that guy. Not adjacent to a Soviet unit, nope. In German reserve supply, yep. We cause a German unit in dangerous round, which we've decided that we've worked it out long and hard that he's in dangerous round. To be no longer in dangerous round, unit must be in from turn 5 and 6. Unit must be in hex in Soviet support, which it is. It's in the Soviet support line. So let us just put a garrison there and see if we are right. I mean, I'm pretty sure because I can't get around here. Where's his out hex, Grant? That's the one. His out hex is there. It's not here because this guy can go out and in. So we still can get something in there threatening that hex, but we cannot. I mean, this guy cannot go around. He can't move in. He's got to stop in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, he can't get up to here. And there's nothing else lying about. Okay, I'm going to go with that. That was quite good actually, because I didn't think anyone was coming to that. So just shows you. Right. Okay. Right, so that's that card. So we're moving on to the next one. This is advance. Yes. Right, what's that going to do? Okay, so advance. Right, let's see what this does again. Situation, active unit able to move at least one hex in the forward direction. Right, so this goes in descending order. And then for this action only, increase the moving unit's printed movement allowance by 2, move in the direction indicated by the forward movement arrow and unit's hex, stop when movement allowance spent, or upon entering a Soviet VP hex or a hex adjacent to a Soviet unit, may end move in dangerous surround. Right, okay, so what have we got? Well, we've got a reduce unit up there, so he's going to be the highest, isn't he? Let's see if I can move in a little bit. Well, you know what? No, that's fine. I can zoom in, can't I? Rather than messing about. You can still see that. What is he, 12? Yeah, it's right up the top. So 12, 7. I've got 6, 4, 5 and 8 down in the middle area here. So 12 and 7. So yeah, we're not looking at 7. We're looking at 12 first. However, he is in that city. So, okay, he can move one movement point. He's an active unit able to move at least one hex in the forward direction. Now, he may end his move in dangerous round. The thing I'm wanting to just check first, though, is, but to be honest, I don't think Kenan's as the movement restrictions. Don't cause Soviet proximity to enter garrison German VP hex. Well, we're not going to by moving out of that city. This guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, he can't get. He's about the closest. All the stuff down at the top of here is infantry. Oh, I tell a lie. I should put that on top then. That's a tricky one because we've got a 3-step below. Yeah. I think it's probably better to keep the bigger movement allowance at the top though, just while we're checking things. I'll just need to try and remember he's got a 3-step infantry. But I mean, that's not helping either. I'm not going to get around to that. So I think him leaving that city is not a problem. Yeah, and the movement restrictions, and then don't cause any German unit in hex and Soviet support to be put in danger. So that's Soviet support we're nowhere near that. Don't end in dangerous round. However, the action cards actually saying you can end in surround. Don't cause surrounded Soviet unit to be. Yeah, I don't. The restrictions are not going to stop that guy at all. No, they are not. I don't believe so. So. Let's see. So he can move. He is able to move. Tighten that up a bit. Looks like it was going to drop there. Right. So he's got 6 movement, which turns into 8. So he's going to move in the direction of his arrows. So we're going to leave a cube in there when I move him away. Now he's coming over a minor river to start with. He's not following the road. His forward arrow is that way, so that's going to cost him 2 movement into clear hex, but across the minor river. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now he's still got 2 movement, but he stops when entering a hex adjacent to a Soviet unit. Yeah, okay. Did I get that on camera? I did. So that's where he moved from. He moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's him stopping there. And I don't see any restrictions for him coming away from there. Now, yeah, one other thing here I was noticing when I was watching back in a bit of footage was that 10.54 comes into things whenever you move adjacent to a Soviet unit, right? When an action calls for German units to move adjacent to a Soviet unit. Now, this action wasn't saying move adjacent to a Soviet unit, but it's caused it to move adjacent to a Soviet unit. So, following preferences apply, but see, in this situation, you can't change where he's going to end. You can sort of say, well, he wants to prefer going to this hex because he's following movement arrows. So in this case, it's fine. But I just need to keep it in my head that whenever I'm moving adjacent to Soviet unit, it could be that there's other options that I want to take, other possible hexes adjacent to it. That's why. That's just reminding myself, really, I think. Okay, so that's that guy done. So I'm going to put him down the bottom then, because we've got unit 4. So he's moved. So unit, I said there was an 8, There's an 8 there. Now, can he move? He cannot. He's already adjacent, and his movement arrows that way, so let's forget about him. Now, unit 7, I think, was up the very top there. Let me take that away now. So we have left this city empty, so we need to be wary of that. So yes, he can move this way in his arrow, and he's got 6, so it's 8 again. That's an awful stretch up there, honestly. I'm going to have to stand up with it. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, he's going in there as well then. And that's 3 units, 5 steps. Yeah. And again, I don't feel like he's broke any restrictions. There's still nothing proximate to this city. So, yeah. So I think the rest of the units though are in a different position. It was just mainly they two. Sorry, I'm standing up trying to activate things, making a poor job of it. So we've done 8, 7, here's 6. Right. Well, in actual fact, he can move, but right, hang on here. Active unit able to move at least 1 hex in forward direction. So his forward direction's here. He could do that, and that would be 1, 2 movement. He'd be breaking zone of control. But would he be doing that? I think this might start taking us into a place that I'm a wee bit anxious of. And I can remember it from Ardennes. I think I talked before. You know, and it's when you start moving. I mean, if I move to here, that might not break a restriction, right? But see if I then move. I move right. If I'm going to do this, it's 1, 2 movement. Right, now I'm breaking a restriction, and my restriction I'm thinking about is a Soviet unit proximate to this empty VP hex? And the answer there is no, there's not a gap there, but as soon as I go like that and move my second hex, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, he's not actually, but I'm pretty sure, well actually it might not be. 1, 2, braking zone of control. 3, 4, 5. No, he's not either. Well, maybe it is alright then. Yeah, well, you know what? It might work out that way. I think what I was trying to show was that you could start the move, and it was interesting that I seem to remember something in the rules I've been reading from the Germans, so that it rung a bell with me. It was like once you completed the move, because when do you decide here? I mean, let's just say, I don't know, if the terrain was different here, if that wasn't a broken hex, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, you still can't make it. You know what? I think you know what I'm saying though. Can I still make this move? Or as soon as I move one and then there's a gap opens to that, do I have to stop? Or can I not make the move at all? And I remember this from before, and I'm not sure, because this brought some stuff up, to be honest. Well, Grant, look, it doesn't look like you're getting that situation here. So why open that can of worms just yet? Why not just try and do what you're trying to do? So he doesn't care about dangerous around. So would he make this move then? It would be 1, 2, braking zone and control. Let's get a cube in there. Sorry, and he's got 8 movement, remember? 1, 2, braking zone and control. Following his arrows. 3. And then 4. That's where he would move to with that advance action. He doesn't care about going in dangerous round. Now, has he broken any restrictions then? Well, the one I thought was he might have been open in proximity to that town, that VP hex, sorry. But it seems to be that it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4 is one short, and then we've tried this already. It's 1, 2 to break into there, 3, 4 to go into broken, 5, 6. That's even worse. So I don't think that has opened that up. Right, but what about the possibility of don't cause any German unit in hex and Soviet support to be put in danger of surround unless that unit is active and not yet acted. So the only issue could be there if this guy wasn't in dangerous surround, and I've put them in that. Now that is a possibility. I know we just cleared them out of dangerous round with this garrison, but if I was to move down there, this infantry could go 1, 2, 3, and then a mech unit here could go 1, 2, 3. This is another clunky looking one, I think. Is there infantry in there too? There is. 1, 2, 3, 4. The infantry could go into there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm just. I can't. We can. Okay, we can get into there. Does that surround anything in there? Does that surround this guy? I think it might, but I don't know. No, because of this guy. It does, doesn't it? So there you go. That then is a restriction broken. So here's the thing, and this is starting to be flashbacks. if I can't make that full move, you know, if I was to stop here, and it wouldn't be there, would it? That would still be in dangerous zone, yeah, because in the hex. So if I was to, and this is where I started, if I was to start making that move, would I be allowed to just stop here? Because I don't think so. Nah. You're not getting that one, Grant. Nah. I think that means that unit can't carry out the advance action. Because what I'm trying to say is, if I'm allowed to move only so far in the action, I've got to stop because I'm then going to break restrictions. Yeah, I remember it. It's coming back to me a little bit, but I can't quite remember how it all went. There was that much stuff went on. And I think Martin compiled quite a lot of questions and that for John throughout the playthroughs that I'd done that were that brought to light quite a few things, but yeah, I'm wanting to feel like that can't do that. For this action only increase the movement direction, and yeah, because stop when movement allowance is spent, right? Or upon entering a Soviet VP hex or a hex adjacent to a Soviet unit. Well, if I move from here to here and then stop because I was then going to break a restriction, it's not stopping for that reason. So I don't think that can happen. No. So I don't think he can carry out the advance. So, right, Grant, come on then. That was unit 6. So 5 is up there. His arrow is that way, so he can't. 4 is there. The arrow is that way, so he can't. Right. And that's that. Right, that's us done. That's us done as much as we can with advance then. But we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 units to try and do something with. Okay. So that's action cards done. Let's see if we can get this wrapped up. Starting to feel I had a bit of a sore head when I sat down this evening, and I'm not so sure I maybe should be trying to grind my way through this. Right, so that was step 3 and 4. So 5 is move to hex and remove dangerous sound from German unit in hex and Soviet support, or enable supply trace from German occupied hex. I don't think any of that's an issue. There's no supply issues, and again, it's got to be within Soviet support, so it's got to be under this line. And this garrison just got placed to get this guy removed from dangerous around. Did we say this guy was in? I don't think he is he? 1? No, maybe. I don't think we can get in this hex. I think that's a problem. Because we can get in here. It's getting in here. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think. Oh no, hang on. He can go in there and he can go in there, Grant. Yeah, he is surroundable. Yeah, of course he is. They were both surroundable, but when I was placing the garrison, a garrison wasn't helping this guy out. In fact, we only found out through this strange procedure that this guy was in dangerous now. Okay, so can we help this guy out? And the descending order, well, we've got a unit 8, which is way up the top. He's not going to do that. And remember, it's got to be in Soviet support, so it's got to be down in this area. So 8 is there, and then 6 would. No, 7's no. He's not active. 6 would be next. So, right, there's maybe not. I was going to say there's potential, but all he can really do Move to X removes dangerous surround. So, well, I think we said that he could move to here and all would be well. But this is when we're trying to move on the arrows, wasn't it? But that doesn't remove surround. And in fact, so that's 1, 2 movement, 3 movement, 4 movement. Now that might actually protect the guy, but it puts himself in dangerous round, doesn't it? Let's move in here. Does not. I mean, this guy moves into here, this guy moves into here, this guy's surrounded. So I would need to get into there to stop that. But if I do that, I'm then 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm then putting myself in dangerous round. So I don't want to do that unless it's outside Soviet support or causes surround of a Soviet unit. It does not, or allowed by the action. It does not. Yeah, I don't think he can move down there because he's putting himself in dangerous round. See that town again, but I mean that's all right. We've decided that's all right, isn't it? How about if he went 1, 2, 3, 4 though? Is that crazy talk? Jeez, I don't know. I'm getting myself tied up here. Hang on. Okay, I could put units in all these green cubes. So surely this guy's still surrounded in there. Yeah, I mean, in fact, that's not helping anything at all, is it? In fact, am I getting things wrong here? I think him moving down there is causing that trouble, because if I don't move him down there, I think they're the only green cubes we can have. It's because I'm moving down here that's bringing these guys into the equation, you know? Yeah, so yeah, I don't think I have a move that removes dangerous round. No. I'm gonna just leave it. I don't think there is. Right, move proximate to empty Soviet VP hex if not already proximate. No, there's no Soviet hexes that are. We've kind of tightened them up a little bit. This is the nearest one away down here, to be honest, and it's not anywhere near them. Move to a hex that causes surround of Soviet unit. I don't think so. This guy's already surrounded. Well, hang on though. Unit 8. Does it go descending? Yeah. So unit 8, if we took him 1, 2, we've seen that? Yeah, from a distance. Actually, that's 1, 2, 3, isn't it? Because he's breaking zone of control and crossing the minor river. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not happening, is it? I mean, the best he's going to get is that. That is not surrounding. No. No, I don't think we can get us around by moving just one unit. No, we need to get round. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? No, I'm going to say no to that as well, then. Although I'm starting to fluster here. So, okay, step 8. We're getting there. If not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to nearest Soviet unit. Would be in ascending order. Unit 4 is adjacent. Unit 5 is adjacent. Unit 6 is adjacent. Unit 8 is adjacent. So good, we're getting out of this now, I think. That's it. Right. Remove disperse marker from unit. So we did get, well, we only got 2 units that made a move there. I mean, it did look like a decent move. They come down into the action a bit, but I feel like I'd like to watch that over again with a bit of a clearer head. My head's a bit buzzing right now. Just, there is a lot to think about. I'm not so sure it was the best time to be sitting down tonight. What I want to know the chance I can get, but you need to have a, yeah, it can really burn you out. But so right, I'm going to settle with that, and then hopefully Martin can keep me right if I've got it wrong. But yeah, I don't want to start getting lazy. I felt like that last supply check up there with that unit, that was kind of lazy, and I felt like I was kind of sort of saying, well, yeah, Martin will tell me if I'm wrong, you know. I can't just keep doing that. I guess because I wanted somebody to tell me about the cards, and I thought, well, if I get some of the supply wrong, it's like, but yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to put this together, and yeah, I think that's me for the night. I'm struggling. My head's hurting a bit. So we'll leave it for tonight, and then maybe tomorrow I might have a better sit down. Okay, guys. Yeah, not enough of what happened, but yeah, well, at least we've got turn 6 started, I suppose. Okay, cheers.